Hello everybody, I'm Thomas and welcome back to another video. This time I'm back with episode 4 of my Starforged playthrough series featuring Zephyr, the space detective, where we're going to be picking up where we left off last time. Last time we finished our little quest with Spider, and who knows, she might appear again, but she knocked over an antenna, we fixed it, we convinced the guards it wasn't that bad. We didn't get any XP for it. They're still going to keep their eye on her, but that's all resolved. And now it's just me and Badger to figure out what's going on. And I think this episode we're going to really spend time to figure out if Badger's ship, if it's here, and kind of figure out the main question of, was that really Zephyr who knocked out Badger and stole his ship? Or was it just someone that looked like him, or maybe something else completely different that I haven't considered? But I feel like I've considered all the main options. It didn't seem like it was some shape-shifting alien, and it didn't seem like it's some robot. We haven't fully ruled those out, but it seems like those are not as likely. But then it's either Zephyr themselves or someone that looks like Zephyr that's trying to frame them. So I think if we could find the ship on Freya, that's going to be pretty damning. And then I think maybe this session we also will just go and confront Zephyr and be like, what's the deal? Maybe lie to him at first to try to just be like, oh, we couldn't find Badger, and try to like gauge his reaction, and maybe mention the footage and gauge his reaction and see like we saw someone that looks like him, and to kind of go from there. I think that's going to be our kind of course of action. So maybe this is something I can even like make a small vow to Badger, is to find out who it was that knocked him out and stole his stuff, which I should, because I have a connection with him, get like a bonus for now. I think whenever you swear, I'll double check, but whenever you swear a vow, I think when you swear it with a connection, you get +1. So that's something. So you know what? Yeah, I tell Badger, I'm like, listen, you're safe now, but if your dad was the one that did all this, then you're not going to be safe if he figures out you're here and still alive and all that stuff. So I pull out my iron and I swear to Badger that I will help you figure out who knocked you out and help kind of get you kidnapped and gave you over to the wreckers of the internal circle, essentially. So I swear that to him. Find out who knocked out Badger. This is probably just gonna be an easy quest, I think, just a level 1 quest. We could maybe make it level 2. Sure. We'll make it a level 2 quest. I also think mark the quest no greater than formidable, and then when I gather information for this quest, the sleuth will kick in, which is good. Now I need to swear the iron vow, add +1 because of Badger is a connection with mine. Let's see how this goes. That's the worst I could have rolled ever. Determine, but begin your quest with more questions than answers. Take +1 momentum. Envision what you do to find a path forward. So maybe we just don't have any leads at all whatsoever. That seems pretty likely. I'm trying to think of how else I can make that, because I think if it was like a weak hit, maybe we might have something to go off of, but I think right now it's not a whole lot of anything. So this also feels like a good point to maybe make a new scene 8. And maybe I should have made one a little bit earlier, but that's okay. As long as I'm trying to keep it the best I can of tracking my scenes. So we'll say investigate Badger's ship. So I'm just trying to, I think the main thing is, I want to try to find if his ship is here. If it is, find out any info on it, who took it. And I don't know if I can see like, I don't know if there's something like pilot data or like cameras on the inside that can get a better picture of what the person was. If it was Zephyr, maybe some camera footage in the dock. So stuff like that. Were we in control last scene? It was pretty rough. So I'm going to go with not really. I'm going to let it go back up. Chaos factor can go up. Let's roll for scene alterations to investigate the disappearance of the ship. 4, so scene is interrupted. A bit of a random event going on here. NPC action of oppress. Oh boy. Oppress and outside. Now we do have a good amount of character lists. I probably haven't updated this in a while. No, this looks pretty good. Yeah, so we can maybe just roll on that and see who we get. It is Mongoose. Now, if I'm remembering right, Mongoose is like they were the dock worker on Pinnacle that seemed like they were unfriendly and were probably working with the wreckers of the internal circle, but maybe not for sure, but it seemed like they were. So, okay. Oppress and outside. And the scene is interrupted. Okay, so maybe I tell Badger, I'm like, wait here, just in case Spider comes back soon. I know being locked up isn't good, but we also don't want your dad to know you're here, because then if I go talk to him, like, that'll look pretty obvious if I say, that we didn't find you. So stay low, stay hidden. I'll bring you some food before I go, and then I'll start investigating stuff. And so I kind of give him some food. I go to one of the docks. I imagine there's multiple docks and multiple ships here. And maybe when I go into one of the docks, I see Mongoose has made a trip here to Freya. Oppress outside. What could that mean? Let me think on that for a second. Okay, so oppress outside, I'm gonna be honest, couldn't come up with much. There's probably something there, but I just can't think of anything. So I rolled on the action table a couple times, so I found something that I think I can kind of work with, which is bestow peace. I think it's pretty interesting. So I like the idea that maybe Mongoose felt bad for not helping. Who knows if this is just a trick? I think we never really fully confirmed that he was working with the wreckers, because at the end of the day, we saw that they were knocked out and that Badger was taken to the hospital. He was kidnapped from the hospital. So we still don't know what exactly Mongoose's deal is and who they're aligned with. But they're here to bestow peace. So I think maybe they were actually looking for me and they felt bad for what happened. And yeah, maybe just wanted to apologize for not helping, that they, and I don't know, maybe even like offers like a flash drive with like the video camera footage that I was asking for that I already snuck in and stole. But he's like, here, I don't know if this will help you. I don't know if you found him yet, but this might give you some leads. And I say, well, thank you. And then that is pretty much that. But okay, so maybe Mongoose is as bad of a guy as we thought, or maybe this is all a ruse, or maybe he knows I don't know, who knows. I'm not gonna worry about it too much, but we are looking for Badger's ship. So I'm gonna go around to asking at some of the docks. I'm gonna gather information to try to find the ship. Now, I roll 3 challenge dice instead of 2. So let's try to gather information, see what we can find. Yikes. Okay, I'll take the 5 and the 4, even though that's gonna be a miss still, but then I can use momentum, I think. Yeah, to make it a strong hit. So I will do that instead. You've discovered something helpful and specific. The path you must follow is made clear and vision when you take +2 momentum. Great. I mean, I think we either find the ship or find somebody that has seen the ship. So what exactly is it? Do we find the ship itself? I think that's very likely. I just want to confirm that we maybe found the ship. We do. On mark in progress. That's a good start. So we found the ship. Okay. We'll tell, let's see. Let's just break into the ship and try to see if there's like cameras on board. I guess I would maybe know if I asked Badger beforehand, like, are there cameras on board his ship? I don't know if that's like a thing. It's probably like a pretty basic ship, so I'm gonna go with very unlikely, so I even know if I need to break into the ship. No, there's not. Okay, so I will I'm looking all over for the thing. I think I need to do a compel. So I need to find some dock worker and to them. I don't always need to lie, but I'm pretty good at it, so I'm gonna lie to them. What is the lie I will say? I will say, what should I say? Maybe I'll say like this ship was reported stolen, and I need to know who brought it here. Which is, I do want to know who brought it here. It wasn't reported stolen, so that'll be the lie, even though it's not that big of a lie, but I think it's enough to count. So I'm going to go with that and say, I mean, I'm investigating who stole the ship, which is true. I'll say it was reported stolen. Yeah, we'll just go with that. That's a lie, mostly, kind of. That's, you know, the best lies have a sprinkle of truth in them. So it's a weak hit. They'll do what you want, but it comes with demands or complications. Okay, take +1 momentum. What could the demand or complication be? Let's do maybe an action roll to see what exactly is demand / complication. Ruin? What? Oh boy. Ruin plot. That doesn't seem good. Because that, you know, it sounds like it's just ruining my whole story. Whatever's about to happen is gonna ruin my story. They do have cameras in the dock, but there was recently something that happened with them where they don't have the footage of that time, at least when that ship arrived. Okay, do they know the cause of why they don't have it? I'm gonna go with very unlikely, maybe yeah, very unlikely. Like, so do they know what caused this issue? No, and now we have a random event. Close a thread. I don't have that many threads. I maybe need to also update my threads. Release peace. My thread is just find Badger. I guess we've already found him, but find his ship. Or find the meaning of the vision. Oh boy, so it's gonna be like roll again, roll again, roll again, roll again, roll again, roll again. Okay, find Badger's ship. There it was. Okay. That makes sense. I'll just delete all these because they're not relevant. Release peace. That could be a good thing. That kind of sounds like a good thing. Or maybe releasing peace. Or closing a thread. So do they know what caused the outage? No. Okay. Maybe I can, like, I'm a detective, right? I should be able to maybe, like, scan or, like, dust for fingerprints to see whose fingerprints are on the ship. Maybe that's a thing. But there's a good chance maybe that, I'm already forgetting the person's name now. Zephyr. The Zephyr has flown the ship in the past, so I don't know how helpful that will be. I also don't know what release peace could be, and the fact that it's close the thread, we're kind of in the middle of the quest, so I might just ignore that. Oops, it's gone. I don't need to ignore anything when it's not there anymore. So, okay, so the footage is gone. They don't know why. That sounds pretty shady, like someone wanted it deleted to not have it tracked. Okay. I want to mark momentum again. I remember progress, because even though we don't know anything, I think that's good to know that someone was hiding something. I think it's maybe time we go and we talk to Zephyr. I think it's time. I don't want to wait around too much longer, because I think we need to get to the bottom of this, and I think we could do more investigation, but I think now is the best time. So Zephyr makes her way to go find Zephyr in the ship dock that he normally is in, and we need to really be good at gauging his reaction. So I walk up to him and say, we'll start with a lie, and say, you know, we like, we try our best to, you know, play it off, because it still might not be him, but right now it's like all signs point to that. Either that or someone that looks like him that's framing him. We say, you know, we kind of play it down like, hey, Zephyr, you know, kind of lower our mood and be a little sad. And he's like, how's the investigation going? And we're like, not too well. We haven't found any signs of Badger yet. And that will be our line. Try to do our best to compel to lie to him that we haven't found Badger. Let's see how that goes. Strong hit with a match. +1 momentum. So he believes the lie. What is his reaction? Does he look sad? Let's just do a 50-50 roll. No. So he tries to play it off like he's like bummed, but like we can kind of tell like something, his reaction isn't quite what you would expect when an investigation for your son turns up that we haven't found him yet. So I think we just gotta say like, that's pretty telling already, but that, you know, maybe he's just having an off day, so okay. Yeah, I just tell him like, yeah, I didn't really get any leads and haven't found him yet, but did find one thing, and I maybe show him the picture of what looks like him knocking out his son. And I'll say, do you know anything about this? I'm gonna do a compel. This is probably like with iron, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe I can lie and say, well, you know, yeah, maybe I'll try to lie. I'll try to lie and just say that I saw him. I'll be like, well, this is weird because you seem, I have eyewitnesses that say you were there then. You were the one that knocked out your own son. So I'm gonna lie with shadows. Try to persuade them to see, persuade him to see if he'll believe me. He says, another strong hit with a match. Holy cow. So he's like, he seems kind of shocked by this. And I'm like, so what do you have to say for yourself? And I show him the picture. I'm like, this is you, is it not? Is it him? Does he admit to it? I'm gonna go unsure. I don't know. Does he admit to it? He admits to it. That's kind of crazy. He seems like he's kind of caught. He's caught. I'm like, why? Like, why did you do this? Are you working with... I don't know if I need to do another compel. Maybe I could do another compel and be like, are you working with the wreckers of the internal circle? Because I am secretly a part of their organization. I guess if I say that, then yeah, no, that seems legit. I'll be like, I have been trying to establish a foothold for them over here. He admits it, and I'll be like, are you part of the wreckers? Because, you know, I am too. You could have just said something and we could have avoided all of this. Will he tell me what I want to know? He's take +1 momentum. Okay. So are they part of the wreckers? I think at this point, I'm gonna go with unlikely, but maybe they are. I'm really curious what this rolls. So I think that's a yes. Are they part of it? They are. At least that's what he says. He's like, didn't know you were that way. I didn't know you were like that, Zephyr. We find out he is part of the wreckers of the internal circle. Then I'm like, why did you do all of this? Was it just to, you know, you put your son in danger, having him imprisoned? Why? But it was him. He admits it. He says he's part of the wreckers. He's just admitting stuff, but he's maybe believing all my lies, so I'm doing maybe a good job at lying. Was it to like Was it to protect him or was it to protect the wreckers? I'm just gonna do it a fake question. Was it to protect? He says exceptional, yes. He says, so maybe this is a case, I think this is maybe like a bit of a redeemable way to put this, is like he is working with the wreckers, but maybe it's something he didn't initially want to do and he just kind of got, you know, wrapped up in. And when he saw his son starting to investigate them, like he knows how dangerous they can be, and he really didn't want him to get further involved with messing with them, so he knocked him out. Protect him. That's some backwards thinking maybe, but I think that's maybe what's going on. And I'm like, so you went there, you stole his ship, and then you brought it back here. That doesn't make much sense, but okay. I think I may just make the progress roll to find out. We'll do it with 8. Sure, why not? What's the worst that could happen? We roll a 9. Okay, it's a weak hit. Maybe it's that now, like, he wants out. Like, after this recent thing, like, he wants out of the wreckers, but he's kind of in too deep. And maybe that could be my next vow, is help Zephyr leave the wreckers. That could be kind of cool, like a bit of a redemption arc. We'll make that like a formidable thing. We'll make it like dangerous. We'll make it formidable. We'll make it dangerous. It's fine. And so this was what this is 2 ticks on this quest track, so we'll complete that. We know it was his dad. We've kind of gotten all that info. We'll mark 2 ticks. We have a new vow. Seems like he's being sincere, so I'll swear an iron vow to help him. I have a connection with him, so I'll add a plus thing to it. Oof, that's a weak hit. Okay, and I think we're gonna wrap up there. This is a pretty quick conclusion, but obviously I don't think this is all over yet. So we have found out what happened with Badger, and it was his dad. His dad knocked him out, and then maybe he's not, maybe like, and maybe we can kind of detail this out next episode, but maybe it was something like, you know, Zephyr went there, knocked him out, and then left because he was like kind of panicked almost and was gonna get caught, so he left, sold the ship and left. But then maybe he sent me as a way to actually like go investigate. At first I thought it was like a cover, but I like the idea that maybe he's not as connected to the wreckers on Pinnacle, so he was like legitimately worried, like, what happened to my son. And I like this idea now that like he is part of them and has been helping them, but wants out, and that's gonna be my next vow, and that's where we'll maybe pick up next time. Is I want to start figuring out more about this meaning of the vision, and I guess helping Cypher. I wrote Cypher. This is not Cypher. I'm Cypher. No, this is Zephyr. There we go. Leave the wreckers. So we'll pick up on all of that next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like is always greatly appreciated. And until next time, I'll see ya.